Bang. Go ahead, son. You're live.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Yes. And welcome to the healing service of the Temple of Light Center for Spiritual Living in Kingston, Jamaica. This is the moment when we just set aside the day, even the wonderful things that have happened, and try to be as much in the present, in the moment as we can, so that we may fully experience the power and presence through the consciousness of healing that each one of us brings to this experience, through the words that are spoken, through me and through everyone who has chosen to participate. And most of all, in the silence wherein the infinite speaks with clarity, clearly, insistently, so that each one of us may benefit from this hour or less. So before much ado, as is said in the country, I will start with an opening affirmative prayer, followed by some moments of silence. And then I have been guided to read some words from Richer Living, extracts and excerpts, really, from one of the readings, not this week's reading at all, but I find it very relevant for the topic for today. So join me as I recognize one power, one presence, God, the living spirit, almighty, known by many names, but that which we know as the creator, that which indwells all creation, which manifests itself at its higher level, highest level, as what we call humanity. We know it is that which speaks to us and speaks through us this evening as we seek a deeper and deeper connection with this power and this presence, this creator, this infinite presence. We know that as we just continue to experience these moments, the silence within us becomes an insistence that we hear and know that I am that I am. And we know that that I am is equally so for each and every one of us, everywhere. But in this moment, we claim it as ourselves. So we allow this silence to envelop us, to prompt us, to insist in us. Be still and know that I am. as we continue to experience the heightened awareness of the presence, I will read some words that caught my attention from Richer Living. The hopeful have always managed to lift the world a bit and to bless their fellow man. With their eyes upon good, they have walked forward on a pathway of blessings. I now join with all who have placed God at the center of their lives and who know that truth alone is real. I clasp hands with the men and women who have proven the power and the presence of God. Before me lies an eternal possibility which awaits my exploration. It bids me come to its gates and enter in to partake of this immeasurable good. Through me, through the world, tells me that much is, though the world tells me that much is impossible, I still declare my possibility in God. I know that nothing can be withheld from me. My consciousness is clear and positive. The good I seek is seeking me. The pathway I walk is always forward. I press on to my good. God walks by means of me, and to his forward action, there is no impediment. My future is dependent upon the conscious awareness of infinite mind. I am establishing good. Each year shall improve my consciousness and bring greater joy to me. Nothing can prevent my progress, for God is with me, and the power of God acts through me with wisdom. I am divinely optimistic. I am divinely optimistic. I would like us to take just a little more time to just say within ourselves as we continue with this healing service, knowing that whatever we get from it is what we bring to it. And say quietly within ourselves, I am divinely optimistic. And so it is. So it is. Welcome again, George Young, Carol Charlton, Yvonne Carty, Carol Campbell, and Leighton Jackson. Yes, and of course, Sandra Cooper, who is assisting me this evening. My topic that more or less has been born out of the guidelines for our talks this month. Beyond limit. You notice I didn't say beyond limits, beyond limit. And it says, who says I can't? Who says I can't? The Master Jesus, and I'm never tired of hearing this, said, it is done unto you as you believe. Now, that is a highlight for me. That is a highlight of what the Science of Mind, the philosophy synthesized by Dr. Ernest Holmes, our founder, uses as its nucleus, its takeoff point, its starting point, as you believe. In other words, according to what you are believing. That is the law, says Dr. Holmes, the law of mind, which brings to us precisely according to the nature of our beliefs and the reach of our expectations of life. I can speak for myself that over 40 years of studying the teachings of the Science of Mind, my understanding that it works, maybe not how it works, but that it works, and how to make it work for me. I am certain that I'm resolute in my belief that there is a law which does for me according to my belief. So guess what? Why am I not raising the dead, curing the lame and the blind? Why am I not doing the things which Jesus said, whatever I do, you can do likewise, and even greater things can you do? Let me pause and ask that question again. Why am I not raising the dead, healing the sick, the lame, right, and the sick? No. Before I contemplated that, and lots of different things came to me, including the obvious. But I want to share a story which has been shared in our church before. I'm not sure who shared it, but it caught my attention for this evening's sharing. It speaks about a little baby elephant who was tied to a small stroke by a relatively slim rope. And it would be there. I don't think that would be cruel enough to leave it there all the time, but whenever it needed to be contained, it would be tied to this small post, small, just adequate to keep that elephant in check. And over the time, it grew and it grew, and as it grew, there was larger, it was just free to break from that same rope that was there. But guess what? It never took into consideration that it had grown sufficiently to break away. So it just remained very obediently, very docile, not attempting to explore or to get away. And it reminds me of possible some of the invisible ropes in my own thinking. Because, yes, over the years, I have acquired knowledge. I've been insistent that I believe the things that I say I believe. But is there an invisible rope of my own thinking that's possible holding me back? So I ask, has anybody, and I want you to think about this because I'll give opportunity later on, if you so choose to answer. But if you don't answer, you could still answer that question and hold it within yourself. Sometimes we ask questions and we don't get the answer immediately. But is there something that we desire to do, really to do, and we have told ourselves flat out that we couldn't do it? We dismiss it very quickly and say, it would be nice if we could, but, I've let it go. I'm not going to even pose a question as to what that would be, right? But sometimes it's as simple as getting up and singing at church a solo. It's not necessarily going to climb Mount Diablo or even Blue Mountain Peak, right? Mm-hmm. I think I flirted with that idea once of climbing Mountain Peak, but it didn't really rest with me for very long. But why do my answer comes to me? Why have I not embodied sufficiently of what Jesus has said and what the Chant of Mine teaches? That, yes, I know I've demonstrated many things, including, I know for sure, in the work that I do, I believe that my presence and other things that I've done may have contributed to the healing consciousness of the patients that I see, and even those as a practitioner. But why am I not demonstrating it at a greater level? Could it be that within me is that which says, that is Jesus, are you Jesus? You know, the global belief, race consciousness, which has expectations of how much I can have by way of wealth, how much I can do by way of keeping my own body well and healthy and useful. What are the things that may be keeping me back? Have I been conditioned so much? Am I not diligent enough to pay attention to my thoughts? Are my meditation sometimes not as consistent as it should be? These are the questions I should ask myself. Have I, or is it that I have become so, this is me speaking about myself, so comfortable in my present status that I have not utilized my spiritual muscles sufficiently to contribute more to humanity because I don't see myself in that way? Am I too complacent? Is it that my horizon is, not so wide? Is the circumference of its circle not getting wider and wider, better and better? Or do I think that there is any goal that's too lofty for me? The intention is too lofty, or a common one, am I afraid that I can't, or afraid that I can? And if I can, and I do, will my life change more than I would want it to? Would it take me out of my comfort zone? So, friends, speaking of fear and all the chatter that goes on in our minds sometimes, when we face goals that seem formidable or challenges that seem formidable, it brings me back to the story of David and Goliath. Little David, he played on his harp, but we were sing that in Sunday school, but I'm thinking about it more than that. David was a shepherd and he had a lot of practice with herding sheep, not sheep. And so he knew how to do what, as a daily practice, what we call herding sheep would want to go their way. And he was also one that lived very close to the indwelling God. He had lots of time on his own to think and to be and to reflect in the stillness. So when he heard that his fellow men were battling, all poised to battle this great giant, I won't tell the story in details, but I think we all know it enough, this great giant Goliath. He was not only very tall and a giant, but he was also a goader who would know how to get to the to the weak points of the soldiers, and he would go with them and say, come and fight me, come and fight me. And as he did that, they cowered and they didn't go. But David would come to visit them regularly. And when he came, just to give them supplies. And eventually, David came and said, let me, let me. He brought his slingshot because that's all he had. And I'll abbreviate it. He faced up to the land, the giant, swung his slingshot, and headed right for his most vulnerable. And this giant fell. The rest I won't tell the story of. But basically, what it is telling me is that this is going on within many of us who face challenges that seem so overwhelming. Or even if the challenges are not ones which we fear, but they are ones which we think are just too formidable. And this is a chatter that goes on with us, where that's the army of that says, no, I can't, because there is this bigger dominant thought that's saying, no, you can't do it, you can't do it, you can't do it. And then there's that part of us which knows, we have been taught, we know the teaching, we keep still, we know, we go within. And over the years, we have practiced the silence, we have practiced the affirmations. And now we can face that which seems that it would overwhelm us, confront it with the truth. I am that I am. I am that I am. That I am. And we can now be insistent. These are the times when we practice. I heard one story of Usain Bolt, who said, I don't like to practice, because he would draw these heavy drums behind him, or not sure if it was drums, any objects. And he said, I don't like to practice, but I like to win. And so I know we have been promised. Jesus Christ has promised us the law of mind, which we are familiar with, because I see all of us here who are here now, and maybe others who may listen. We are aware of the teachings of Jesus Christ. It's done unto you as you believe. We are aware of the science of mind. So we know that it is by practice, that we will come effortlessly to face what had seemed like a giant to us, a giant which says, no, we can't. And that is how we'll approach not just any prevailing situation that seems to be overwhelming, but any situation that comes up. Until after a while, we don't even have to anticipate. We begin to live our lives with spontaneous right thinking, which leads to spontaneous right action, where the attributes of the divine will spontaneously come forth. This is not idealistic, it is the ideal which we have been promised, and we bear witness to it. So I'll ask the question again as I end this little part of it. Quietly to yourself, is there anything that you would like to experience, but you have put it aside because you think it's just too big, or it takes whatever excuses or others you may give to yourself? Just I give you about a couple seconds to just embody it for a while. If you choose to share, fine. But I do implore you to take this moment. What would you like to do that, or to have, or to be, that you may think, no, whatever reasons, I don't even know reasons you give yourself, but is there something that you'd really really like to do?
May I?
Yes, of course.
There are two things. One is I saw I know about the conference in August in Banff. And this year's I had wanted to go to Canada for my birthday in October. And Banff is not somewhere that had ever come up as a possibility. But I really, really want to go to experience a CSL event this year. And I've set my intention to even if it's August, don't matter. I really would like to go. That is one. But there's something else, Reverend Sonia, that perhaps you can give a perspective on. One of the things I've been declaring for myself, and like Carol Charlton might probably know this, is that I'm a mortgage-free homeowner. Because the story about too old to get a mortgage and blah, blah is out there. But so I decided, okay, if that is so, then I'm a mortgage-free homeowner. And I've been affirming it for years. So lo and behold, fast forward, and my family home has finally been it is being probated. And the will has my grandmother's, it's her home, has the 5 grandchildren as the beneficiaries. But so my youngest sister and I are in the process of we're the executors now. Because my 2 granduncles, her brothers, have died. And so my sister and I are the executors. And so once the will is probated, my sister and I will be the title owners. Yes, my brother and my other 2 sisters will benefit as they are, as has been outlined in the will. But technically, when the final court issue, it should finish by about February, is complete, I will be a mortgage-free homeowner. It is definite. And I said to myself, God, what am I doing this? That's not what I want. I don't want to live there. I want to own a house.
Ah, I was waiting.
It's just the idea of being clear.
Yes, yes.
In the desire, of course, to have just like how this house has come without having to spend $1, because all of the costs that we have incurred will be returned to us when the house is sold. So I'll be owning this house without having to pay $1. Mortgage-free homeowner. However, help us close the gap between the desire, any desire, nothing too big, too small for God, and being specific as to what we want. That's like a friend who asks for a car and get a dinky toy. You might remember that story, but be specific around what we want without dictating. Please just bring a little clarity to that.
You know, as you were speaking about being a mortgage free, what was coming at me was mortgage, mortgage, mortgage. Even though you were saying mortgage free, but the word mortgage dominated my consciousness. I'm very, what you call it, sensitive. Yeah, okay.
To the language.
So, yeah, to everything. I'm very sensitive to, right? So I would have said I would love and intend and expect to be an owner of my house, right? A fully free, paid up. Other people may have other ideas because I'm sure that people have demonstrated this too. But this is how it would have come across to me. A fully owned house, home.
Got that.
With all that home means to you. Security, whatever it is, I can't tell you. But soak it in and let that, we heard a lovely demonstration yesterday, which the person who demonstrated it thought they were being maybe too exact, but it was the demonstration was how the person had embraced what they wanted was full of feeling, feeling, and what came for the universe took the feeling and put it into concrete form and gave it to that person in a way that they had not anticipated, right? So this is all right. Anybody else wants to contribute to that, but that's how I would have seen it.
Yes, thank you for the language shift. I really appreciate that. But just to say that you ask for, you get what you ask for.
Yes. And what you ask for within it is the feelings that you are.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
Always the feelings. The language of the mind and the universe is language of feeling. It doesn't know
Okay.
form.
There are two in the chat. You have Yvonne commenting because of fear. I think that
Yes.
like the stopper, and
Yes.
lack of confidence and feeling unworthy.
Yes, yes, yes. Fear is the big one because like the soldiers that were supposed to fight Goliath, who were just cowering there, waiting, puffing up themselves, but doing nothing. We have all those within ourselves sometimes. But we know we have David, and we know what David did. He spent time within, practicing how to corral those thoughts by living in the center, wherein there is peace and harm. It takes practicing, Lord. It takes discipline, Lord. Some days say, well, let me cut short this thing. You know what I mean? Yes, I'm going to meditate every day, but less. And I'm going to do this. I'm going to take off a few minutes because of the hurry. We can argue ourselves out of it, as I'm sure the soldiers probably did. Say, boy, sure. No, this thing too big for me. All right, I have to keep. Okay, yeah, man. Anybody else has to share anything like that? I can tell you for myself. I did my DNA, and my DNA is what 76%, whatever you call it, some African, I can't remember what African, and 38% Nigerian, and 20 odd percent Ghanaian. I know Jamaicans think we're all Ghanaian, but I can probably say if most of us did our thing, that's what we'd find. So I had thought I was Ghanaian, right? Having done that, I have a little secret. I don't say it's a passion, but I have a little kind of, I would love to go to visit Nigeria, the part of Nigeria that I've read about that is the ancient kingdom, which is responsible for a lot of the modernizing of the world, if not all of it, spiritually and otherwise. Is a heart, the center of modern living. A lot of us don't know it. I wanted to go and see it with my eyes. But then I said, so how many hours, la, 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 la. Well, I've overcome one step. I've acquired a US visa, which I never had for. I had one for about 10 years. I didn't apply for one. To go very far, you have to go to the United States. So I didn't do it for that reason, but the universe has pushed me in that direction. So maybe if I'm more, if that desire is strong enough and persistent enough, right? Someone will see me coming back with artifacts from the kingdom of Benin, which is connected with my DNA.
Yep. Well, maybe off camera, you can tell us a little bit about what inspired you to do that. Was it ancestry.com type of thing?
23andMe.
Okay, we can
very
talk about it another time.
Very interesting, yeah.
Indeed.
It's a gift I think everybody should give to themselves. When you're finished, I have at least 25 to 30 nationalities in me. Look at me.
Talk about oneness.
Yeah. And
Wow.
it just changed the whole way of looking at life, right? Even Ashkenazi Jew, in me as well, all of those. And Neanderthal, a little bit though, a little bit. It's one of the boundaries that I think we can set out, realizing, come out of our comfort zone and widen the boundaries of the limits so that we have no horizon. That's what I was doing an exercise with myself where I start with a little bit of thing, looking at what are the things that I consider my world now, and then I just widen it and widen it and widen it until the borders disappeared, right? And I know that I am a global, universal beingness. So I think globally, and I want to let that be the standard with which I walk through this earth. So that when I pray, my prayers are not just for me, my immediate family, right? I consider myself connected with the entire universe. And the universe is probably, I think I'm working on that one. Yeah. Okay. Any all quiet people this evening? Auntie Lil, something prompts me to ask you a question of you as a very well-traveled lady.
Yes.
Yep.
What is the question?
I just want to hear your voice. Is there anything that you would like to do that you have hesitated to do? Maybe because you have given yourself some reasons. Let's not call it excuses, reasons, maybe valid reasons, but reasons why you have to.
Well, I'm keeping this on mute because you have a little background child here. But no, I think probably the one thing that I haven't accomplished, which I really want to accomplish, and I keep procrastinating on, is finishing the book on the University Singers. So I don't know, probably this year I should
Oh,
change my mindset about it. That's the one unaccomplished thing which I have been declaring that it's my nemesis. So I'm changing that word now. It's not my nemesis. It is my to be completed.
time has come to go ahead to speak of many things. Yes.
I'm hearing a word as well, which is the word probably.
I did that one miss me. That's true. No, universe don't deal with probability. That is mathematics.
So the language has to be definitive and clear, just like how you clarified for me what that meant. I think just to give a
yes.
Write it down and look at it and look at the words Auntie Lil, and look at what it is that you really want and make it in the language that really expresses the completion of that thing.
And together, thank you for that, Sandy. And together, we just for a moment just see, because both Auntie Lil, and there are others, but for sure, Auntie Lil, we know so many people connected with University Singers, but for sure, Auntie Lil and the beloved Noel Dexter, right, are part of that journey, right? And so we just see it complete. We see us enjoying it and just, easy, effortless, peaceful, joyful, and with grateful. Amen.
Carol
Amen.
Carol has her hand up, Sonia.
Hi, Carol, please.
Hello, everybody.
I'm speaking. Or you come back.
I'm speaking from Suriname. No, I don't come back yet. I'm coming back in the midnight hour.
Oh, wow.
So, before I get into what I currently want, I mean, travel is my middle name. I've always loved to travel. And for the last 12 months, I've traveled 4 times to lands far and wide. And this in a 12-month period when my employment was less than I would have desired. However, if I were to sit down and say, well, where the money did come from, I couldn't tell you. But I had declared that I was going to be traveling to wherever this year, last year. And the opportunities just kept coming. And prior to my going, another me would have said, no, but you can't. And then I made a decision. Why can't I? Of course I can. If the universe has given it to me in my face, then I have a responsibility to say yes, so that I can opened the door to more. So
Amen.
here I am in Suriname, somewhere I would never have thought to go, but I was invited by a friend to come and bless her house that she just bought.
Wow.
Amen.
And
Amen.
it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful.
Great.
So it is a demonstration for me. And yes, I've demonstrated many other things, in the many years that I've been in Science of Mind. But just the speed with which it occurred over the last 12 months and the intensity with which it occurred just has really solidified for me that it is possible, that there's no reason for you to deny yourself whatever it is that is in your heart to be expressed. And as you were talking about, why can't I raise the dead and heal the sick and whatever? And it occurred to me that raising the dead and healing the sick may not be speaking about physical raising the dead and healing the sick and making deaf people hear again.
Of
But
course.
it is about the consciousness of bringing back to life those things that you have allowed to die, to
Amen.
give voice to those dreams that you have been denying.
Yeah.
That is the rebirth and the resurrection and the whatever you want to call it. That is currently redeemed in our context.
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
Oh,
Exactly. Wonderful. And what I think the word is reaching out to us as individuals, right? When I say the word, I'm not talking people, I'm talking about the collective energy of the world to participate in it. So what you just said is so timely and so beautiful. Thank you. And I'm
okay.
going to make Mr. George Young. You finished, Carol? Because I see.
Well, it's 22, or almost quarter to. So
Okay.
perhaps we should look at,
Yeah, I
I
just
don't see
want,
any requests in this chat.
okay. Okay. All right. But I will do my treatment still. But Junior, one word from you. We have to move on, but I see you and I see Leighton and I see Carol Charlton. Do you want to say anything before I move on?
Good night, everyone.
Hi, George.
Hi, Junior.
Yeah, man. I listened to you, Rev, and as it relates to raising the dead, healing the sick, parting the Red Sea, and so forth, you know, I think that it is imperative that as truth manifestors, we need to live this. We need to have this consciousness,
Mhm.
and therefore, for me, while it is not fear but doubt. And, when that doubt kicks in, then I have to rebirth, resurrect in consciousness. For some years now, I have been, thinking about starting my own company. And I think, hey, can you really do that? And after all the procrastination and the doubt, my company is now 1 year old.
Wow.
And I have not only filed my annual returns with the Companies Office of Jamaica, but I have, done my financial statements with an accountant and have the auditor, verifying same. And it is good to say that my balance sheet is going up. It's living divine truth. And therefore, I just want to say to us, when the doubt, when the fear gets in, we need to show who we are.
Mhm.
Yes.
We need to show up as the faith maker, the miracle workers, because it is in this practice that others will see how we live and gravitate to how we live our life through where we worship. and the people that we surround ourselves with. I want to say a big, 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 big thank you to Reverend John. I love him, I love him, I love him, I love him. Because without him, Pax Lumina Limited would have been an idea and not a manifestation taking on flesh and dwell
Fabulous.
among us.
Fabulous.
Namaste.
Namaste. Back to you,
And
Julie.
I'm not going to attend to pull Miss Carty, but I can tell my friend Miss Carty, she just said, keep everything simple. Keep it simple, right? And she demonstrated in a very spontaneous, I shouldn't talk for you, Yvonne, but time, right? Not true? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
I do. I know you live life in a very simple, spontaneous, but spectacular way, right? So thank you for being, and Carol Chanton, you don't know the half, right? So I am going to just do some treatment for manifestation yeah, okay. I'm going to treat for all of us. What spectacular. Carol? Right. So thank you for being, Carol Chanton. Yes. Yes, Carol. Carol?
One at a time.
You're calling me?
I think Carol Charlton was about to say something.
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Maybe she
but
was.
I have a treatment as well.
Okay. What's your treatment? What's your treatment, Carol?
Safe and easeful travel on my return tonight.
Okay. Peaceful. And what is that? Something on peaceful travel?
Tonight, she's coming home tonight.
Nice. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
A safe and peaceful travel.
Peaceful, of course. Yeah.
There isn't anything in the chat on YouTube.
Yes. Okay. So I will do a treatment first for safe. Yes, and just peaceful travel for Carol all the way home. And then I'll do them another treatment, which will include all of us to enhance the manifestation of that which we desire within our hearts. I recognize the one power, the one presence, God, the living Spirit Almighty, which has created for itself the enjoyment of this wonderful experience of Carol in Suriname. The wonderful experience which her friends have shared with her presence there. I know it is the divine that is enjoying itself through that group there. And it is that which also enjoys itself as a flight by plane. Just an easy, smooth, and effortless flight with company that is just vibrant with the consciousness of the divine. Just the energy that is within the plane is just embraces and surrounds her, Carol, as she just relaxes, lets go, and sees herself just being carried safely and easily and effortlessly, as if in the arms of that infinite which is enjoying itself as a her trip on the plane, on the ground, and everywhere that is entailed in her experience from Suriname to Jamaica. See her landing easily, effortlessly, safely, and being embraced by those who wait for her. It's a wonderful experience that lingers in her consciousness for years to come and animates every other desire that she has, makes it into sparks of realization as she knows that every demonstration is possible, and she allows it to happen as that memory just fades away, but leaves within her that certainty of good and everlasting good. And I continue in the same consciousness, this awareness to know that every single one of us who is here is an expression of that which is almighty, all-powerful, all-knowing, that which has created each one of us out of itself to experience itself at higher and higher levels of expression of its beingness and wider reaches of our consciousness and our impact. And therefore, I know for each one of us that the desires that resides within our hearts are desires that are kindled with love, they're kindled with joy, and they're worthy. And they come forth into manifestation in tangible and concrete form that befits the planet upon which we live, regardless of what this desire is. When it is manifested, it comes with all the attributes of God: beauty, peace, joy. It comes with knowing, claiming it with right action. So everything that we do with it is according to right action. Yes, it doesn't bring peace, it allows peace to find its expression through us. And so I know that the words that I've spoken for perfect manifestation of our deepest desires and for continuing flow of manifestation spontaneously, easily, effortlessly, peacefully, joyfully, with great fulfillment that is already taking place as and through each one of us, here and anywhere else, who is open and receptive to it. I give thanks that it is so. And so it is. Amen.
So it is.
Thank you for joining, and I would like to remind you of all the wonderful things that
Okay, let me
in our church.
let me just share my screen. I can't find which screen now. Here we go. Okay, I think the first thing is the Labyrinth Walk tomorrow. It's the first of the year. And so we do invite you to come and share in our consciousness of peace tomorrow, Wednesday the 8th at 5:30 p.m. on the grounds of the temple. It's really a wonderful meditative experience to just contemplate the power and the presence of that which is within us, and to just listen to its whisperings. And then something to really, really look forward to tomorrow evening. So after you do the labyrinth, to get home and to join us online to hear Liz share with us ways to move the vision to reality, to learn steps for the manifestation of our 2025 vision, so we can move it from the pipe dream, oh, I wish I could, I would, I should have, to the reality of absolute manifestation. So there's a registration link. Well, in your email, it should be coming to you. And so we do invite you to join up with us tomorrow evening. And it's from 6:30 to 8:30 on Zoom. Okay. So let's move the exercise we did yesterday to a higher level. The exercise of creating our dreams and manifesting those dreams in a powerful way this year 2025. And of course, classes are, it's a wonderful way to deepen our understanding of spiritual truths. And so we have 2 classes coming up. One is the 4 spiritual laws of prosperity, and it will be on Tuesdays. Do you have, what is the date of the commencement, Vance? You have or Reverend Sonia?
No, I'm not sure.
All right, just keep attentive.
Look out. It says upcoming, so I'm sure they want you to just pay attention, right?
I know it starts this month.
Yeah.
So I think
sure.
the 23rd is probably the start date of this course, but we'll see. We'll hear more about it on Sunday. As well as, that 4 spiritual laws is with Reverend Michelle on Tuesdays via Zoom. And also in this month, Reverend Anne will be leading Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life on Thursdays at 11. So again, the date we will let you know. And, more details of registration and cost and so on. Okay. And this wonderful dialogue that we have on a Tuesday, it continues next Tuesday, January 14th, and we'll have practitioner Jennifer Livingston, and we will hear her topic Sunday. It will be announced.
And I just want to thank the person who comes up with this beautiful PowerPoint, brings, everything to life. So
I
that
wonder who
person-
that could be.
I just wonder, but I'm telling you, spirit in action, right? That's beauty.
Oh, my beloved. So our work continues with the love and support that you, as our members and friends, give to us. So if you feel moved to support our ministry, do feel free to donate at donate.templeoflightcsl.org. And our hearts open, and we are grateful and thank you for your generosity and for helping us be a beacon of light for the world. We are indeed a temple of light. And so as you choose to give this evening, just hold your, or before you touch that donate button, just say with us together, lovingly
I give,
joyfully I
joyfully I receive.
be thou fruitful,
increase and multiply. Bless,
prosper,
and enrich
enrich
everyone
whom
who
you
touch, and replenish
all
all my financial affairs. Thank you, Father. And so
and
it is.
so it is.
By the way, guys, I don't mind if we have a Bible at the Tower of Babel. It's okay. Just
Babel at Babel.
please.
By the way, again, I think this picture was taken by Tony Henry, just not, I think it was.
Beautiful, beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful, very artistic. Thanks.
Yeah, just looking through the vista of these flowers, through the trees to the temple in the background.
Takes a creative eye to see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But listen, I want us all to say this thing together, okay? I don't care if it, yeah, man, let's say the prayer.
Center.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. On mic or whatever you call it.
So the Temple of Light Center for
Center for
Spiritual Living is a
sacred field
embodying our
embodying our spiritual community
from which the
which the Christ, peace, love, and joy emanate to touch, to heal,
to bless,
to
prosper,
prosper,
and to
to
liberate
liberate anyone
who
who comes into
contact
contact
with it.
Anyway, the
The
light of Christ
illumines us, our center,
and
our
our environment. Our spiritual community is filled with and surrounded by the presence of God and is growing from strength to strength. The power of God
expands
our
our consciousness of truth,
guiding
guiding us ceaselessly along the paths of wisdom,
spiritual
spiritual
growth,
unfoldment, and attainment. We
We
are
are blessed,
and to God be the honor and glory forever.
forever.
And
And
so it is.
it is. We
And
will
now
have
the
for
prayer for Jamaica.
yeah. The radiant light of God's
love
love is
is
now flowing through us
and
and
from
from
us
us to everything and everyone
whom
who
it
touches.
touches.
The eternal light,
God's love
love
now completely fills, covers, and surrounds our island of Jamaica.
Jamaica. The glowing
intensity
intensity
of
of
the light
the light
of
of
God's
God's
love
love
now
now
interpenetrates and awakens within the hearts and minds of our countrymen
and women.
The
The
truth
truths of life which set free. The light of
God's
God's
love is growing and glowing in intensity in the hearts and minds of mankind everywhere.
Love,
harmony,
goodwill, peace,
uprightness, integrity,
joy,
prosperity,
kindness,
and our oneness under God
are
now established. And so
it is. And know the blessings of the Almighty goes with and as each one of us, knowing that as you have given of your consciousness collectively here for the healing to vibrate throughout this world, this universe, it comes back many times to each one of us as a blessing, manifesting wider and wider reaches of our awareness and deeper anchor into that universal presence we call God. I give thanks that it is so. And so it is. Amen.
Joyfully is.
Ashe.
Amen.
Ashe.
All right. Love and blessings. to all.
Sandy. Thank you. See you soon, Carol Campbell.
Okay, good night, everybody.
All right. Night, Auntie Lil. You're in Jamaica, so I know.